Alright guys, be on here, back more Brotherhood, Da Vinci Disappearance. This should be it for Da Vinci Disappearance, and then all we gotta do is sequence 8 and 9
Have
the
you
main
found
game.
anything?
Nothing is there. No pages, nothing.
That cannot be. Something must be special about them. Think.
I'm done thinking.
Oh, please do that. I love
These
that.
paintings are a blank slate.
Sarai.
I'm actually with you
Doesn't
on this
Leonardo
one, Friends. I gave
conceal
her
his
a 7
research?
as well.
He
Last week I
frequently
gave
writes
her an
backwards.
8, but I do feel like
Yes,
this
he
week
also
her
experimented with
position
inks,
has
including an ink that
gone
vanishes.
a little bit down.
But we can't
Has
see
it?
Bailey and
visually.
Devon both
Oh yeah, I guess
have her
Bailey
on
and
their
Devon, yeah, I
radar
forgot about
because
that
she's
actually.
not included in the Slick
Ezio,
Six,
use your gift.
which is not great for her.
You
They
know
were
about
originally
that
talking
too?
about putting her and Ian on the block, and while I do think that she would be safe from those nominations,
Okay,
losing Ian would be a big blow to her game, and Kaser still might do that if he wins next week, and that would not be great for her. On top of that, her influence with this group at large has diminished, in part because she's not part of the Slick Six, but also because the people that she wants out that are targeting her
are going out.
not the same people that the rest of the group wants out. She can't even convince Christmas to switch her target from
There are
Devon
drawings
to
on the
Bailey.
painting.
And you can tell
You
that
were
when
right.
she's talking with Danny and Cody that they don't value her opinion as much. So when she's saying that she thinks that Bailey is more dangerous, they say, nah, it's Devon. And that's not great for her. And when she talks about how, like, Christmas
This
is
one
cool,
has been
they're
searched
like,
entirely.
she's fine. So her influence with this group is not great. Now, that said, I think she is a very capable player, one of the best in the house, and I think that she is very good at getting her way. For instance, Janelle is leaving this week.
Yeah.
That's huge.
One
for
drawing
Nicole.
here.
She also almost got Cody to say, screw it, I'm putting up Bailey next week with just a
There were
small
two
little,
in
like,
these one
hey,
as well.
Bailey said your name, Cody. And if that's the kind of thing that she continues to intends to continue,
I see a
then
drawing.
we could easily see Bailey going home next week because Nicole gets in somebody's ear about it. So never count Nicole out, but I do think that she's kind of, got her back to a wall.
Everything found.
At some point. So it's a 7 from me. The audience still not quite there. They're at a 6.
I found one.
Still overall. So
I give Nicole
they're
an
not
8,
feeling
didn't I?
wonderful about Nicole. They've
I found two
believe,
drawings.
maintained a 6 all the way through so far, but I do think it's a little bit improved from where it started. Let's talk about Memphis.
I gave
Yeah.
Memphis a
Memphis.
6.
Wait,
Right?
talk about somebody who like was the talk of the town,
Got
as Bryce
one.
would say, last week, and this week, like, who he? Like, is he even in the house this week? Like,
You
I
are
don't even,
finished with
nobody
that
even
one, I
talks
see.
about Memphis for the most part, unless they're talking about trying to get rid of it. I like.
I have found
Memphis
all the
this week
images.
because
They
he
seem
did
to
something
fit
I didn't think was
together.
really possible
Draw
for
them
him. He
already.
was HOH.
Bring me
and kind of
paper and ink.
A hard-ass HOH to boot, and then like kind of went back to the background. Like, you know, doesn't really feel like he has to have a big say. Like, he can sit there and eat like
Is that a map?
a meal with somebody.
Show me
and
the
not say a
entrance.
word. Like,
I must first
I
position it
feel
to
like that
pieces.
Memphis overall is
Wait,
much to my
what about the
chagrin,
burned
sort of, like,
paintings?
It is
forcing
likely the
his
missing
way of
parts will
playing
not
Big
be
Brother
needed.
into the house. It's
You
like
have
a
to
square
bet on
peg in a
that?
round hole, but somehow he's making
No.
it work right now. I don't think he's on the inner inside of anything, but I think that he is a viable tag along for a lot of people. He seems like a trustworthy guy, and unless he gets a little unlucky, which is kind of what happened to Nicole Anthony, ironically, with Memphis' HOH. Unless Memphis gets a little unlucky and the wrong person gets HOH and goes after him, like David or somebody else, I think Memphis is here for a while, and I could definitely see him getting to the end and
Okay.
possibly winning the game. So I gave him I gave him a 6. I gave him a 5 last week. I gave him a 6 this week.
I'm with you on that. I also gave him a 6. I gave him a 6 last week as well. I feel like he's continuing like these maverick ways, but he should be set for a while in this game, and he doesn't. Basically, Memphis doesn't plan on turning it on in the game until halfway through, which he's told everyone, and they've all just kind of accepted it, and they're all just like, all right, we're gonna leave him until halfway through or so.
We're gonna leave him in his robe and just
Let's see.
Yeah.
scarf.
No, because because of this, it's hard to feel better than a 6 about Memphis because there are other people in the game that are so much like better positioned in the game to go far, and I don't know how he will do when he does turn it on, when he does need to start doing things. But he's also very good at competitions, and if he makes it halfway through and the competitions are as physical as they have been, then I could see him winning a few of them and getting some power and making a deep run at the game. And you know, for as much as we say, yeah, he's not like the most, you know, smooth-talking guy, he's a little blunt, I don't think he's drawing dead with a jury vote. I
don't either.
People
chat does. A lot of people in chat do, but I do not.
People enjoy him in the house when he's not HOH.
He's an adult.
Yeah, and if he wins a lot of competitions, do not underestimate the power of winning a lot of competitions. It's very big. It does wonders for your image. So watch out for that.
Yeah. By the way, before Melissa gets her score, I did notice that the official chart from last week says that I gave Memphis a 6. I have it on my paper as a 5, so I don't know what I'm guessing that I'm guessing what I see on the screen is correct, and I actually did give him a 6. But nevertheless, I'm going to stick with a 6 this week. I don't feel like I can really go higher than a 6 for Memphis.
Okay. So somebody can go back and listen to the podcast real quick.
I shall.
Melissa, what do you think?
No, I mean, I agree with what you guys have been saying. I think that, like, I don't know if Memphis is necessarily playing better than he played last week, but the fact that last week he was very,
I really lost it?
like, gruff and just, like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and kind of rub people the wrong way, and yet still, this week, people are like, okay, like, we'll still work with you.
Oh, I fucking missed a
like,
piece.
you know, whatever.
God damn it.
I thought he was going to be target number 1 after his HOH, but it seems like, okay.
Damn it. That was so close.
Blending back into the background, like you guys said. So, I'm gonna give him a 6, which is higher than my 5 from last week.
All right. The audience has also gone up on Memphis last week, giving him
the entrance to the catacombs,
giving him a 5. So that's how they feel about Memphis. So that's gonna be a 5 overall, or no, sorry, a 6 overall for Memphis. So he has gone up in the upward direction. All right, let's talk about Kevin. Kevin, oh boy, Kevin. I still feel terrible about Kevin. I gave him a 4.
I gave him a 4? I think I gave him a 4.
I gave him a 3. We keep having this thing. No, I probably gave him a 4. But I just don't feel good about Kevin. I feel worse about Kevin this week than I do last week, so I do think it's appropriate that I gave him a 4 last week, because I'm going to give him a 3 this week. I feel like he is continuing to flounder. He's trying to find purchase, and he's not finding any. Nobody trusts him with any information. Nobody's pulling him in, and he's an easy target in the coming weeks. The only positive is that he let Danny know that he'll be pissed if anybody uses him as a pawn, and she's spread that around. And so it does make it less likely that he ends up on the block as a pawn, which is great, but he might end up on the block as an easy target in the next week or 2, and that is not great. I still feel like he could make a deep run. I really do, but right now it's not it.
Plus, like, also, who cares if he's pissed? Like, that he put up as a pawn. Like, is that okay? You have literally no power in this game, and, like, so what? Like, I don't know.
There's a difference between somebody who wouldn't be pissed if they got put up on the block as a pawn, and somebody that would be pissed if they got put up on the block as a pawn, right? So, if you can put somebody on the block that won't be pissed, then you're gonna do that.
Yeah, I guess, but it's like once they get down to it, and it's just their alliance left, or whatever. It's like, I don't know.
It could backfire on him in that regard, in the sense that, like, okay, we need to put 2 people on the block. If Kevin's gonna be pissed, then Kevin is gonna be my target instead of just not caring or something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's like, it just makes me think, like, if that's, like, his one thing, but it was like, thank goodness he said this to Danny, that's his one good move. Like, it's like, okay, so, I don't know. If he's not working with me, I'm not, and he has, like, no track record of winning competitions, and he doesn't have an alliance backing him up or anything, it's like, okay, you're mad at me. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't have anyone else to put on the block. Like, tough luck. Maybe you should have been in an alliance.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know. So I'm giving Kevin a 2. I'm not saying anything from the secret part of the thing.
I gave Kevin a 5 last week, and I, like many of you, was excited when Kevin Campbell was cast on Big Brother All Stars. I never thought it would happen. I really thought it was like a super fan's dream. Thought we were the only ones who remembered him, and then when he showed up,
Tell me where
like,
the entrance is.
God, this is actually happening. Like him and Keisha, I feel like were the two people we were like, wow, we never thought we would get them, and we got them. She was a big old disappointment, and boy, he is as well. It really has been terrible to watch Kevin in the Big Brother house because, as Taryn rightly points out, no one trusts him. That's the thing that comes loud and clear, is that no one really feels like he has their best interest at heart. Even the people that he gets along with well, from a personal point of view, don't really feel like somebody that they can trust with any semblance of credible information. So I also gave Kevin a pretty bad score. I gave him a 3. I wanted to give him a 4 because I do feel like his position is pretty well in the house. But damn, I am starting to question whether or not he could actually win the game. There are a couple people that there's 1 or 2 people I feel like can't win the game. There's 1 or 2 people I feel like can't win the game. Like I really don't feel like they can. And Kevin's one of those people.
Here's the thing I'll say about that. There are a lot of people who vote.
Ezio,
When there are a few of those people,
You who arrested Cesare Borgia, who stopped the spread of Roman ignorance, convince our friend Leonardo to open the temple and usher in the golden age of mankind.
Do I persuade our friend by kicking him? Or would you rather I use my knife?
On the contrary, there is nothing I would like more than an amiable solution. Help Leonardo see reason. With the Pythagorean Unifier, we will remake humanity together.
Not under my creed.
Then the revolution will begin without you. Ucciderlo!
Like, he has emotional intelligence.
Kevin understands the game. I just think he has terrible reads on what's going on around
I
him.
must know!
Okay, strategic mind when he's not really telling people how he's gonna vote. He's
Fuck.
like,
What the
he
fuck?
doesn't want to get
I'm
caught
pushing down.
Please, for the future
that
of
was 6 in a
mankind!
row where he didn't vote with the majority. So he's telling people it's 50-50 this week, and he's getting talked to people. So like, majority this week. Yeah, like it's not like he's umming for Janelle or anything. So he's being very careful. So to me, that's not indicative of and I feel like he has. His position is not terrible. It's just that.
Go! Stop him!
Alright, well the audience
Very
also
foolish.
gave Kevin a 3 this
Stay
week,
away from me,
so
assassino!
he's going to drop from a 4 to a 3
Where
overall.
the fuck am I going?
Let's talk about Kaser.
I gave Kaser 2, right?
Kaser, I unfortunately also have to give Kaser a 3.
We are all the same under
He's
these.
on the block.
Yet these
He could
people
theoretically
persist
go
in their
home. I don't think he
rituals.
will. And I do think that being on the block has improved his social game a little bit. He's talking to
You
people a
intend-
little more. He's making these connections a little more. But I think that he is probably
You-
the most likely
an
person
assassin.
going home next week.
The enemy of
and,
knowledge?
One
even if
must
he doesn't go
choose
home
to
next week,
search
there's
for
still
truth.
a ways
Forcing
to
it
go
on others
before he'll be able to
accomplishes
truly
little.
blend back in
These
and make
lost
some real
people.
allies in the game. So,
Warring kingdom.
unfortunately, it's going to be a 3
I would have
from me.
ended
Brent,
their suffering.
how do you feel?
Che tu possa conoscere la verità nella
I went with a
morte.
2 for Kaser.
Requiescat.
Yeah, I gave
The thing
you
that's come through
Kaser 2.
loud and clear for me with Kaser is
To
that
banish us back to our primitive origin!
somehow, some way, these people just will not bond with him for the most part. Like he can try to have intimate conversations with people, and I feel like he does an okay job of that. But then like immediately,
Come,
most of them will go
let
and
us
run
leave
back
this
to
place.
whoever they're supposedly
We
loyal
cannot,
to, and
Ezio.
they'll not
Not
take
without
anything he
reaching
says
the
at
final
face
room
value,
of the
and I
temple.
feel like he is being
You are
honest,
hurt.
as honest
I will
can
be
with
fine.
most of these
If that
people,
number is
really
left
trying
intact,
to
we
connect
risk
with them
another
and tell them
madman
the truth
discovering
and-
it.
and make them see he is a valuable ally. I really do feel like that him, one of the first ones that would fight the
Torch. I will
next
lead the
week.
way.
So given all of that, and he's never gotten his way. I mean, show me how Kaser could have played first. So it's a 2.
I'm
Thank
gonna go
goodness
with
I sent
3.
Massimo to look for my paintings. It delayed their
And
progress
like
significantly.
it hurts me to do that because I don't think he's playing poorly. I don't think he has a bad read on the
He's
house
played
or anything
poorly.
like that. Like, I think that he's a really smart guy, and I think he's trying
I think
his
Janelle's
hardest, but
played
it's
even
like,
more
no
poorly,
one,
but I think he's played
no
poorly.
one, everyone's a brick wall. No one will open up to
The
him.
Pythagoreans
No one will,
believe that the
no one
soul
will take
moves
him
through
in,
cracks in the
and
earth.
I
Like
think
a
I think
that
that's
if you
indicative
reach
of
that
his poor
place,
play.
like,
Which
there's not really much
symbolizes
you
knowledge.
can do to change it up. Like, you just, like, that's just that. And it's unfortunate because, you know, I think Kaser's a really good player, but...
Can I ask something, Taryn? So I had this thought earlier today. You know, I played Sequester and I played badly like a couple different times. But then like the last time I played a little bit better, and I started to listen to people that told me like that you need to like always bring the fire every time, like you feel like you have to do. And so like, do you feel like part of Kaser's problem is the fact that he feels like he has to bring the fire every time?
Ah, fuck off.
Because he's always saying like, you know, I was put in this house for a reason. I can't be quiet. I can't slow down. I have to keep going. I have to call people out and make big moves. Like, that's why I'm here. Like, do you think it's even possible for Kaser to slow down and be the old man for a couple weeks and just chill and drink coffee and eat cereal? Like, is that even within his wheelhouse?
I mean, like, here's the thing. I think that once upon a time it could have been.
Now I can
Kaser
get
came
back
into
up
Big
here.
Brother 6. He was in the Bro Alliance. Like, he was in it. He was part of it. And then it went wrong. And he was the underdog. And he was in the Underdog Alliance. And then he came into Season 7 as
You
the
are
underdog
almost
in the
there.
Underdog Alliance. I mean, it wasn't
Easy
really
for
the
you
underdog,
to say.
it was 4 people, but
Yeah, right.
the entire other house, the rest of the house was against them. They were still, like, you know, locked up in this fortress. And he came back into this season, and he was kind of put into a position where Cody wanted to target him right away, and that was, you know, in this underdog position. But he was also being given, you know, people are throwing ropes to him. Hey, Kaser, grab on. And he was like, no, don't trust that. I'm the underdog. I don't get pulled into these groups. These groups happen without me, and if they're happening without me, then I need to blow them up. And that's, you know, that's what we saw. I think the same thing happened to Nicole Anthony. I think Nicole Anthony was like, I'm an underdog. I'm on the outs of these things, and again, like self-fulfilling prophecy kind of happens. So.
What did the audience say about Kaser? Are they being softies again?
They are. They gave him a 4.
Okay, well, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a 5 or something.
No, not a 5. Not
Yeah.
quite.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about Janelle. I can tell you that the
Janelle
audience
gets
is
it.
also on Janelle here as well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same about Janelle that I feel about Kaser, which is that, like,
We must
nothing
continue
that
onward.
they can say or do is going to change anything, even though they
I
seem
suppose
like
Salai is
they're
out having
they
fun
are
spending
smart
my
players,
ardent
like,
florrie.
they
Ah,
know
fuck.
what
He
to
is
say to
safe at
people,
home.
but no one will listen.
I am
You
relieved.
have to have, like,
About the
ears that are
Florians, of
willing to
course.
hear, and if they're not, then there's nothing you can really do besides just, like, go with the whims of the house. And
This
if the
room
house
could
wants
use
you
some
out, like, then you're out. Or if the tide's turned and you get to stay, then you get to stay. And then maybe next week pull it together and figure something else out. But right now, it just seems like there's nothing that they can do, and it's unfortunate. But
The sound
that's
of
why I'm
wind.
going to give Janelle a 3 as well.
All right. I gave Janelle a 2, mostly because she's gone home.
Yeah.
The
I
Pythagoreans
don't know if you
believed
I don't know
all
if
the
you realize that. I
forces
think
of
a 4
nature
from the
could
audience
be
on a week where the
whittled down
person's
to
going home
numbers.
is probably an all-time high.
Mathematica can then act on nature,
I also gave
allowing
Janelle
man to
too.
harness nature's power.
Look, I think Janie is terrific. We love her. Again, I'm begging for a reset button on Thursday just to make me happy. But I'm not going to give Janie the panel because I feel like she's a better player than that. And she's tried. And,
Yeah,
you know, I feel like some of the things that are happening are just beyond her control. Like, you know, the whole Franzel thing is like, I still don't understand what's happening there. I also don't understand Danny. I don't understand what Danny's doing. Danny's become the mean girl that nobody likes on Big Brother. And,
Danny's always been a
it's
mean
something
girl.
to watch, but those two things together are just inexcusable to me, considering coming into the season, at least with Danny, like, Janelle thought she was going to win. Like, she really did.
Now I can get back up here.
I feel like that could have been such a good, like, secret thing for both Danny and Janelle.
Can you imagine if this was a season where that was being ruled by Danny and Janelle and Bailey and Davon?
Game. Okay. Okay, I guess that's not where I'm supposed to go.
There's got to be something, like, outside of the house that is, like, why Danny and Nicole are like so close, and why Danny is like.
When Danny and Nicole are good friends,
those
like.
people versus like Janelle. I mean, unless it really truly is that she just wants.
And they have a lot of mutual friends as well.
Like,
I mean,
you know,
take her place.
we know that the Amazing Race thing happened. Nicole, at the very least, believes that Janelle is one of the either, you know, originators or at least spreaders of some of the preseason rumors about her. But when it comes to
yeah,
Danny,
but what about Danny?
we've speculated about it, the pregame thing that went wrong, or she just came in wanting to, you know, stand.
But she's telling people that her and Nicole are not close outside the house. But then I'm also hearing that her and Nicole
You
are
are
very
channeling
close.
the air.
Oh no shit, what do you
But I
expect
don't
her
know
to
what the
do?
truth is.
Oh, she's
Like,
they're
are
close.
her and Nicole
Yeah,
close
but-
outside the house?
Well,
Okay.
copy, if I
Well, I mean,
follow.
I
No
don't
shit.
know. I don't follow like the outside like
Well,
friendship.
she hit it decently well, like in real life, but in the house it's obvious the way that they talk and
mean,
and
even
how
on
they
the
connect
first night
at
of
first.
Pete.
Yeah. Like I will say this because I see a lot of people saying like, oh, it's not Janelle's fault that she was targeted.
No, it is, 100%.
And, like I do love Janelle. I think she is a fantastic character. She has played the game 4 times now, and all 4 times she has been targeted immediately. The first time she was targeted, but they kind of like, you know, case became bigger targets, and you know, she kind of was able to get her way to the end. The
All-Star,
second
she
time
Only
conked
one
out.
right
final
away, but
room
she
before we
won
reach
a
the
billion
center.
competitions, was never vulnerable the entire season. The third time she was targeted right away, and this time she was targeted pretty close to right away. At some point, we have to be able to say, like, you know, there's one common thing here in all of these seasons, and that is Janelle, right?
But I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's like what could she have done differently coming into the
No one
season that would not
expected.
make her stand out as Janelle?
A
Like,
fire
it's
of
like if
knowledge.
Dr. Will or Dan came into
Correct.
the house, like I
Harmony
just feel
was
like
achieved
would
for the
immediately be
Pythagoreans when
okay, these
multiplicity
guys are
became
really,
unity,
like, big
when many
players,
thoughts
like,
combined to
they
form
played a
one
season with
original
Dan.
idea.
And she left first opportunity, and he made it to the end, right? Like,
No, I know, but I mean, it's the thing is that it does feel unfair to me to put Janelle and Keithler together in the house, not have any other duos in the house, and I know we had this conversation last week, but it's like it still is relevant to me, like which is that they're the only duo in the house, and not only that, they're the only duo that stars the original, and they're the only duo that like is known in the whole Big
It
Brother
could help
community
if I
as like,
fall.
oh my god, these guys are legends. Like even all the other players
Yes.
became
How
like multiple
enlightening.
players. They
Very
weren't like,
funny.
I mean Kevin, Keisha, like they're known to fans, but they're not known.
I'm totally with you. Like, she came in with a huge target on her back. Absolutely. It's just
I
like
think she
that,
played
that kind
poorly
of
with that
explains
target
this
on her back.
season. And then you, like, it's sort of the thing where like, yes, you can have an explanation for the individual season, but when it happens 4 times, it's like, can we start to say like, okay, you know, maybe it can be explained away in each individual time, but like at some point we have to admit to ourselves like something's wrong,
I think
right?
it also has to do with the fact that like she is who she is, and she's
Yeah.
this like she stands out. Like
Yeah, she's a 10.
Yeah, that's
She's a
indicative
10 in
of a
room
poor
4
player.
But I don't think that makes, like, I don't think that would affect, like, my rating of someone as a game player, because I think she is a good game player. I think that, like, she gets
I think the thing that a lot of people fail to
from the
recognize
get-go
is
just
threat
because
management
she
is a
like,
massive fuck.
She's, like, beautiful, and she's smart, and she's sassy, and she's funny, and she's, like,
Yeah, threat
not
management is a
emotional, and
massive
just,
part
like,
of these games.
Janelle, you know, and so I think that like any time that she is in the house or whatever, like even on her first season, like she could have played any which way, but I think that because she's who she is, people are like, this girl.
That's
is
ridiculous to say,
impressive,
like-
and we need to do something about her. She can't like blend in. I don't know.
I mean, I think that's fair. I think there's a conversation to be had about like, the natural advantages and disadvantages. I mean, it's
Well,
something
yeah,
to talk
no
about
shit.
when you say somebody like Jordan Lloyd is, most of the time probably going to make it to like the final four, just based on the fact that she is, you know, inoffensive and non-threatening, and just like has that sort of natural advantage. But like, you know, natural advantages and disadvantages are a huge part of the game.
Yeah, no shit.
You know, whether you fit in, like somebody coming in as a 50-year-old is going to have a severe disadvantage in the game, and that unfortunately makes them, you know, depending on how you define it, a worse player, right? So I think you're right. I think Janelle is, you know, take away the sort of like the target that gets put on her because of who she is and like the social skills that she has and like how she plays the game. Like her strategic mind, absolutely, she's great. She knows the game really well. She's great at competitions. I think she's like an awesome like personality. I think she makes great television. She is literally like the face of Big Brother, I think, for a lot of people. But I don't think that, for me at least, like, we can't take away her social game. And the fact that she does have trouble bonding with people, for whatever reason it is, she's unable to make it happen. And like, she's great at it in real life. She has besties. She's got 20 besties. But in the game of Big Brother, it just doesn't seem to work out for her. And so, like, if I'm rating on, like, how well do I think she'll do in this game, it's not very good. How is she doing in this game? It's not very good. How do I think she'll do in future seasons? It's not very good. So, that's,
you know what is very good, though? This is very good, because Janelle's gonna get evicted, and she's gonna be out here with us.
Unity is achieved, but the door is not opening.
Just like Keisha is, and honestly, it's gonna be so much more fun to have her out here with us, and just like, you know, talking crap about all the idiot people in the house who, like, literally she tries to tell them what's about to happen to them, and then it's gonna happen to them. So
Leonardo,
I'm looking
come here.
forward to that. Yes, it's small pleasures in life.
She said today, this is all Nicole Anthony's fault.
Recognize these symbols?
She's a crazy person.
Oh.
I don't think I'm ever gonna talk to her.
These are the symbols that were shown to me by the
dawned
apple of
on,
Eden. They are in the wrong order.
Janelle,
Let me
really
just-
today and maybe a little bit yesterday, how
If I
bad
rearrange
Nicole
these-
Anthony really just screwed over
Done.
Janie's game with a few people in the house, specifically David, who, from Janelle's point of view, was like the linchpin of any vote clip that she could possibly make happen. She needs David's vote in order to make a vote clip happen, and she knows she can't get it. And a lot of it's coming from Nicole Anthony because David is adamant about the fact that, well, you know,
There we go.
remember, I'm close with Nicole Anthony, and you know, that's on you.
No,
And,
this architecture.
like, as if Janelle was the HOH last week. Like everything Nicole said about how Janie was up there laughing her ass off, and they were gonna protect Nicole, but then they didn't come through, and they made her feel safe, and that's why she didn't win the safety competition. Like Nicole Anthony took no ownership of any of her
Those are
decisions
not
last week,
Pythagorean
and threw it all
symbols.
onto Janelle. And because of that,
43,
now David, who
39,
can only like literally so many, there are Big Brother players who can
75,
think like
27,
6 moves ahead. David can only
42,
think like one
double.
move ahead. So he's thinking one move ahead. He's like, well, you know, that's
Cultivar
Nicole
maze is
Anthony.
wrong. The
Yeah,
number
and she's
is
like, I
meaningless.
didn't do that to Nicole Anthony. I'm not close to Memphis. And David, and David's like, well, that's what you would say if you were close to Memphis and you did do that to Nicole Anthony. She's like, oh my god.
It's like impossible to have a conversation with him. Like, he won't listen.
Can we talk about him?
Right.
Can we talk about him?
What are you
We're
not
talking about
telling
him.
me?
All right, let's talk about David.
else
Let's talk
are
about
you
David.
working?
Let's talk about David.
Well, I have begun
y'all know
several
what's coming.
dissection
He gets
studies.
the freaking
Then
paddle.
King Louis
I
XII
have never
seems interested in
seen
hiring me as an
somebody
engineer.
in the history
Oh,
of Big
yes,
Brother
I'm thinking of
who is
repainting the St.
as
John
in-
lost in the Villa
as
Fire.
safe a
So
spot
I would
as
model
David
for it again,
is
of
right
course.
now.
Then
but yet
perhaps I will
he's
study a
thinking
woman with child
badly
to see
enough
how her body
for me to
changes.
not only give
Interesting.
him the paddle,
Tell
but
me
do
more.
it with glee. Like, he is the most abysmal, terrible, no-good player I have ever seen in the Big Brother house. I don't understand what he's doing half the time. I don't understand what he's saying. He says stuff that doesn't make sense. It's really frustrating to watch. And the more frustrating thing is that Janie's about to go out this week, and David's just sitting there, high and mighty, because his boy Trevor is HOH, and he doesn't have a care in the world. So,
My advice.
I know, right? He is just so infuriating to listen to. And it's
All right.
like, here's the thing.
So that's it for DLC. Now all we gotta do is finish the game. Where are we going? We'll head over there and then end. So we'll try to do sequence 8 next episode, and then sequence 9 the final episode. What time is it? Is it midnight? 12:16. Yes, I know we should be able to finish this around 1:30. Yeah, I think David has the least chance of winning it. I think Christmas week too.
David's such an ass. There's no way he can possibly survive that jury question. There's just no way. It's not happening, and I'm going to continue to give David one until he starts playing better or shows me that he can win it.
Like, the logic doesn't make any sense, too. Like you were just saying, where it's like, he's like, I'm mad because of what you did to Nicole Anthony, and you betrayed her, and you were trying to, and you got her on the block, and I'm also mad because you were trying to save Nicole Anthony and not me. And it's like, wait, what? Like, how can you have it both ways? You can't be mad that she tried to get your friend out, but also mad that she tried to get you out when she was trying to save
I
your
think
friend.
he's
Like,
upset that she was nominated to begin with, and once she was nominated, she's...
Rumors that he was in an all-guys alliance. Like, it does make logical sense, like what he's saying. It's just, he's very wrong about it.
You're playing for him. That's not what I heard.
That's not what he's saying.
That is what he's saying.
You are trying to put logic behind illogical.
You're right that he's not saying it. What he's saying is, you spread insinuations and speculations about it. And she's like, what? What did I spread? He's like, we don't need to talk about it. But what he's referring to is the all guys thing.
That's what you're saying, but he won't say it, so I don't know.
He won't say it, so she doesn't have a chance to defend herself.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to give her the chance to defend herself because she's
fuck.
gonna deny it, and he's gonna say, well, that's what you would say.
Also, I feel like he just doesn't want to give her or Kaser the opportunity to, like,
Alright, we'll end here.
actually, like, use, like,
Next episode, start
shut it
to
down
wrap up
because
the
he
game,
knows
but
that,
I don't
like,
think far too
they're
much.
better than